Welcome back. I'm Collins Trott, Child Development Faculty on the Wallace Community College Dothan campus. In this episode, we are going to be learning about the Music and Dance Center. This episode describes the importance of the Music Center. We will also discuss how a well-set-up music center can promote a child's development in many domains, including social, emotional, cognitive, language, and creativity. So, join me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about the Music and Dance Center. Children are as attuned to music as they are to art. Music, too, is a medium for their communication and self-expression. Children enjoy moving to a beat and playing rhythm instruments. They take pleasure in using their voices as instruments, as well as making sounds with hands and feet. Early interaction with music does positively affect the quality of young children's lives. Too often, though, music in the early childhood classroom is a passive or controlled experience for children. It is a CD they hear being played, it is an instrument the teacher plays, sometimes they learn to sing along to the music or move to the directions on a recording, but seldom do they have the chance to make their own music on their own terms. Music in the preschool classroom should be freedom to play around with tones and tunes and beats in order to express themselves and their feelings in rhythm and melody. A self-directed learning environment such as this offers children the opportunity to express themselves musically. The Music Center, for instance, is set up for children's exploration. Materials are provided to give them experience in manipulating, mastering, and making their own meaningful music. This curriculum also gives them the freedom to explore on their own and the time to get deeply involved with music as they do with blocks and books and paints. Their increased cognitive and language development gives 3-year-olds better voice control, rhythmic response, and mastery of song lyrics. They are beginning to understand the basic musical concepts of loud, soft, fast, and slow. They may also love to dramatize songs or try out different ways to interpret songs rhythmically. Music has in fact become an important means for children to express and communicate ideas that are beyond their language abilities. They may spontaneously make up their own songs with repetitive words and a tune resembling ones they know. Preschool children are active listeners of music. Their attention span is longer, and with encouragement, their desire to become involved in musical activities increases. Many can sing complete songs from memory with greater pitch control and rhythmic accuracy because of their development of the concepts of high-low pitch and long-short tones. They are more responsive to group singing and may even enjoy taking a turn in singing alone. They can play many kinds of rhythm instruments, often to accompany songs, and may even create tunes of their own. Music in the self-directed learning environment takes place not only in a designated activity center, but also in the entire classroom. The Music Center contains materials and activities for individuals and small groups to investigate sound, rhythm, and melody on their own. A large space somewhere in the classroom is also used for group singing, games, and dancing. The other learning centers are filled with music and sounds as children bring new songs and rhythms with them into the block, dramatic play, art, and book centers, and as the teachers who visit these centers respond with their own personal music. The Music Center itself should contain a CD player or recorder or MP3 player for children to use. Children can learn to use it and not abuse it, just as they learn to do with the classroom computer. A simple illustrated rule chart on the shelf near the recorder can tell them how. Both the Music and the Book Center should have their own recorders, not only for pre-recorded music, but also for recording the children's own productions. The center's contents will change as the children explore different elements of music. In addition to the CD recorder, put the pre-recorded music on a low countertop. The shelves in the center may contain sound-making materials, musical instruments, rhythm instruments, materials for children to make their own instruments, picture books with musical themes, character dolls to go along with the books, and hooks holding costumes, scarves, and other materials for dancing. You may choose not to display all of your rhythm instruments at one time. If the children are investigating drumming sounds, then drums and percussion instruments may be the only ones out. On the other hand, you may be displaying materials on the shelves of your music center that have seldom been associated with music, such as puppets. In addition to the shelves in your music center, you may choose to display instruments on a pegboard with hooks and an outline of each instrument drawn on the board so that children can match it to its outline and return it to its place when they are finished. Some programs with limited space prefer to use a music cart, like an art cart, which can be rolled out and later put away. Once again, the role of the teacher in the music center may not be the traditional one of conducting a music period for the entire group. Instead, the teacher will set up the center as described in this episode so that children can get involved in music on their own as much as possible. They will then interact with the individuals and small groups in the center in order to stimulate their involvement in personal music listening experiences, sound exploration, rhythm experiments, singing, and music making in general. They will also help them learn to record and play back their sounds, rhythms, and songs. When classroom plans call for it, the teacher will bring in materials for making and using rhythm instruments. They will work both with individuals and small groups in the music center, as well as a total group at circle time, promoting social, musical experiences such as musical finger plays, singing with puppets, and playing instruments. Observing children's interactions with music to determine whether they are at the manipulation, mastery, or meaning level is not as obvious as it is with blocks, for instance. Yet sensitive observers are often able to record children's interactions when the youngsters are involved with materials such as rhythm instruments. As teachers record their observations, they can begin to make plans for individual children. For children at the manipulation level, they may want to leave certain instruments in the center for an extra amount of time until the children learn how to use them. Those at the mastery level can be encouraged to try their hand at mastering several different kinds of instruments. Children at the meaning level who are making music on their own might be motivated to record their productions. Several children may, in fact, want to join forces to record their own rhythm band music. Although music will remain a process for most of the children, some of those at the meaning level will want to preserve their accomplishments like this in the form of a recording. Now, let's review what we've learned. A self-directed learning environment such as this offers children the opportunity to express themselves musically. Musical and dance activities can impact a child's development in all domain areas. In setting up a music and dance center, the teacher will bring in music that they enjoy to share with the children, show children how to use and not abuse the recording devices, as well as other music instruments, promote listening, sound exploration, and music making, and display only a few rhythm instruments at a time. The teacher's role is to set it up in the first place with appropriate materials for children's easy selection and return. Then they need to observe individual children to determine what level they are interacting with materials in order to support their further development. That wraps us up for this episode. You can learn more about this topic by reviewing the resources posted in your course. As always, if you have any questions, please contact me or your instructor. Thanks for joining me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about the Music and Dance Center. See you next time.